So it's showtime. Finally got in my kit, and now it's time to go to the start line, and then we will see ours after the race, and you probably will know how it went. So hope for the best. This is still blowing my mind. Winning the Wings Without World Run in Germany and becoming 5th in the world. It's crazy. I still can't believe it. But yeah, the whole trip started on Friday morning, 2 days out from the race, packing everything together and traveling to Munich. So now what's the breakfast? 3 beers, overnight oats, and my coffee. Now it's time to pack up all the stuff and get into the car and drive to Munich. Can't forget the most important thing, race issues for Sunday. Just arrived in time. Pack those. And here we have all my nutrition for my personal aid. My rice to eat in the car. Everything's packed. Back from the station. Going with the oat coffee and the best thing in Germany ever. If you're coming to Germany, you have to eat this pretzel. Love it. So, just arrived in Munich at a hotel, parked the car, and now it's time to check in, get a room, and find something to eat. Normally I had booked the hotel room from Saturday to Monday, but I decided that I want to travel one day earlier, just to have a little bit more time between the race start and my arrival, because otherwise I just would have got a half of a day to get everything done, and it was just for me. I don't want to add up unnecessary stress before a race like this. So yeah, arrived on Friday and had a ton of time until the race start. So arrived in the room, double bed, bathroom, not so crazy, TV, nice little figure. For that, he will join me on the adventure, and it will be cool. It's cool to have the support from the family and to be here not alone. Yeah, Friday was also for me the start of my carb loading phase. It's actually the second time I'm doing a carb loading before a bigger race, and this time my body weight is around 62 kilograms, so this time I have taken in 9 grams of carbs per kilogram body weight, which is for me roughly around 580 grams of the whole day. You can go up even to 12 grams and extend it over a longer period of days, like 3 days. But it's the same with training. You have to get used to it, that your body can absorb all the carbs and you don't mess up your stomach and everything like that. Got the fuel box. Before we go into the 38, just mix myself a Morton and grab a little bar from 3 beers. The Morton bundle is super handy because during the carb loading phase, you're not always knowing how much you get to eat, and with a bottle of Morton, you always have carb with you. So just plug this one in. And Munich is actually a pretty nice city, and after we arrived and got into the room, we went out to explore the city a bit, do some toury kind of stuff and just distract my mind from the race, because the thing is, if you arrive earlier, you have more time at the destination, so you spend more time thinking about the race. And for me, which I am a person who is like getting super nervous super easily, these are just like tiny little things to keep me distracted and just think about something completely else, which is super helpful for me. Time for a little late lunch snack. Wrap, seitan. Tastes pretty good. Yeah, we finished off the day with a super nice dinner at the small little pizza place. It was a freaking amazing, tasty pizza. And then we went back to the hotel. I checked my phone where I write down everything I eat over the day, so I actually can take track about the carbs I have taken in. And I saw like, oh shit, I have to eat even more. So I remembered I made myself some rice before, grabbed that one out of the fridge and started eating again, which was actually no fun. At that point it was just like getting it in fast and done, and so it's inside my body. But yeah, that's the thing, like when you think about doing carb loading, before that you think about, oh, I eat a bowl of pasta before the race, and then you actually take track of it and you see how much you have to eat. It's just crazy. But it's doing the job, it's doing the deal, so that's why I've done it. Also on that day, on my training plan was a 20-minute core session. I was not feeling like doing the whole 20, so I cut it down to 10 minutes. It's normally what I do on super close days to races. I go by feel. If I feel good, I'm gonna do it. If I don't, I maybe do a little bit less. But normally, just like core sessions, it's not that you gain any fitness or something like that. It's just like the days before the race is get as fresh as possible to the start line, and that's why I said, okay, 10 minutes is enough for the day. And then turn off the lights and went straight to bed and fell asleep. Yeah, next morning on Saturday, I had to do all my pre-race preparation. That meant I had to grab my bottles, get in my shakeout run. But first things first, for me the best thing about a hotel trip is breakfast. Had a pretty nice breakfast before we then went to explore the start-finish area, check out the first couple of 100 meters of the race, and also check where I can pick up my bib number for later. It's always good to go one day earlier, get everything done, see where you have to go in the morning, or tomorrow its start is at 1 p.m. so you don't have to stress tomorrow and find everything, so you know where everything is at, and so it's just a little bit less stress. And also it's good to get in a pre-race walk. So here we are, start finish area on the back. So this is where tomorrow the action will go off. Start here, race down here, and then we take a loop in the park here, and then we head out to the villages of Munich. So that should be fun. Should be fun tomorrow. And then was time for me to finally get in my pre-race shakeout run. 30 minutes, easy pace. Nothing crazy. I don't check my watch during these type of runs. I just run how I feel, what feels good in that moment. And also at the end I did 3 by 18 meter strides to open up and send a message to the body, basically like, hey, tomorrow is coming something big. And yeah, also to save some time over the day, I said, okay, I do my shakeout run and combine it with picking up my bib number, which was just super handy. Picking everything up, bib number, t-shirt, everything. Looks good. Talk to some of my competitors about tomorrow. Race to see what he wants to start with. Yeah, looks we will be quite a big group at least at the start, which is good. So you can tag in, save some energy as much as possible, and yeah, and then we shall see. So legs actually feel pretty good right now. Free race run, don't run too fast, just run so you feel good. I went out about like 15 minutes for that when I turned around, so I'm just cruising at 520 per kp, so pretty easy. Later we'll do some strides, press nut, and then we're good to go tomorrow, hopefully. But I think it should be really good. Weather looks good, it's a little bit windy, but maybe we have to wind our back, I don't know. Want some for that, and let's get around done. Just always picking on that one, now it's time for number 2. So back from my Shakeout run, which went way better than I expected it would be. Like I said before, normally Shakeout runs don't feel that good for me. Maybe a combination of the nerves and yeah, everything, and you think you should have to feel bad or not as good as you want to. But this time it was the other way around. I felt really good, and that's actually a good sign for me. Yeah, I really enjoyed running through the Olympic Park in Munich, and also really enjoyed the ride of the new Outros.
All athletes who have the potential to win the Wings for Life World Run got the opportunity from the organizers to hand them over bottles for the aid station, so your own bottles with your own fuel in it, which is just a super important detail for races like this. You get the nutrition you are used to, and especially you know how much you're gonna take over the course. So after the run, it was time for me to get in the shower so I can prepare my bottles and hand them over just in time.
Now it's time to grab all the bottles. Sure, the Italians on TV, lovely, and I have made myself at home a nice Excel sheet so I know exactly which bottle I have to do what, and down here I also you see my target of carbs. So if I take everything, it's 98.45 grams of carbs. But normally you spill over a little bit from the bottle, or a little bit less in the bottle. So if I get in 90 grams of carbs per hour, it's perfect. So my main fuel source for tomorrow will be the Morton gel, the 101. I will put those inside a soft flask bottle, which is super handy, so I can take this one with me or put it in my shorts. So in this one I will put in 10 gels, 10 of those. That's my main fuel source. And every time I take the Morton gel, I will combine it with the Scratch Labs Hydration Drink Mix. I stumbled over this one not long ago, probably a week, and I only tried it once training. Probably I should say don't do this at home. It was only easy ride on the bike, but it's a good one. I think it's really good. It gives me some extra electrolytes and also a little bit of carbs, not much, but mainly I'll take this one because of the electrolytes, and because if it's sunny like today, we're gonna sweat a ton and I'm gonna lose a ton of electrolytes. So those in combination, main fuel source. Then I will split in between 4 bottles of Morton 320 carb mix, and as well as some normal 320 carb mix. Talking a little bit more about those squeezy bottles. Actually, that's a little trick of mine. Those are called squeezy bottles, 250 milliliters. You can order these online. It's like one not only costs €1, and yeah, you can just squeeze them really good and put in the morning, and then just because normally on aid stations you throw them away so you don't get your bottles back. As well, the normal bottles are way too thick. For example, like this one, it's way too thick to grab. So those are way thinner, as you can see. So way easier to grab, way easier to squeeze, especially also with this little tiny lid here. It's super handy. Here, that's my go-to normally, which I also did for my last 2 marathons, which works super well. Combined with the software, it should be a pretty good feeling band for tomorrow. So let's get the prep done, wrap it with some shiny pink tape so I can spot them very easily tomorrow. Should be good. Pull out the pink tape. Lift the tape. So I'm done. All the bottles are prepared. Now pack them up and quickly back to the stop-finish area to hand them over to the organization, and then we're good to go for tomorrow.
And then I only had one thing to do prior to the race, and that was laying out my kit, check that everything's here, pin on my number, and go through the gear. So that's just something I like to do the night before, so I can wake up the next morning and I don't have to stress. It's just there, I can put it on and it's done. That was the last thing I've done on Saturday before I then went to bed and tried to sleep as much as possible. On the next day, finally Sunday, race morning, I only had a tiny little task to do. The day before I prepped all my bottles I hand out, but like I said, I had this little gel flask where I want to squeeze in my gel, so I did this in the morning. Also because the race started at 1 p.m, so I had quite a big time gap between, so I said, okay, I can do this in the morning of the race, and then it was just, relax, try to stay calm as possible before putting on my warm-up gear, and then walked over to the park, start-finish area, where I normally be 1 hour before the race, and then, it was showtime. In the park, I did then a 10-minute warm-up with some light pickups. We don't go out that crazy fast, so you don't need a super big, crazy warm-up routine. So I just did a 10-minute jog, some pickups, but actually I told my dad after I came back from the warm-up, I don't know, my legs don't feel really good. I don't know if this race will be a long one for me today, but you are there, so you line up, and we lined up and did some more strides before the start, and then it was time to go at 1 p.m. and we were right from the gun away, a really big group, around 10 people, and we were pretty good together, and we knew we have to hold a pace of under 3 minutes and 40 per kilometer until kilometer 40. So the winner of the race later has the potential to break like 16k in the whole race and even rank really high in the worldwide ranking. And we went out, my legs start to feel a little bit better at around 8-9 kilometers into the race, and it was like a little bit up and down at the beginning of the race before some people saw they have to attack at around kilometer 30, and there was a time where I struggled again, so it was a super crazy time for me, and they just started to attack, going from roughly around 3:35 pace, dropping down to 3:20, and I was falling back at that point from the group, and it was just a crucial point, and I said to myself, okay, I do one last push, and if I don't gonna make it back into the group, it's over for me for that day. I did, and luckily the group slowed down a bit at that moment, and I caught back up, and it was slightly downhill at that moment. So I grabbed my gel flask, took another gel, and then I saw at the front, okay, he's attacking again. And he was attacking again. It was then going uphill in a little village, and in that chaotic phase of the race, I just had to put my bottle in not perfectly in my shorts, and it dropped out. I took one last look back, saw the bottle on the ground, and saw like, okay, you're gonna stop or not? And I decided to not stop, to stay in the group. And then when everything was like sorted out, I found myself in a 3-man group behind the leader, which is fastly then gone down to 2. So it was Flo in the front, and then the leaders running me in the back. And we worked pretty well together until we caught Flo again at around kilometer 40. And the good thing was at that point I was like, okay, my child force is dropped, don't worry about it anymore, you can't change anything. That's something I'm super proud of, because normally that's something I stick my head around then during the race, but this time I just pushed it off and it was not a big deal anymore. Yeah, and then we caught him. He dropped roughly around 1K after we caught him, and yeah, from there on I was in second place, but I also knew it was only 40K in, so we probably have to do 20 more K of running, so it's quite a long time. And together with the India's runner, we went through the marathon mark in 2:32, and at the aid station of kilometer 45, he was stopping at the aid station, and I was just grabbing my bottle and kept going, and then it was a slightly downhill. He caught back up, but I said, okay, it's a time for me to make a move. So I dropped the pace a little bit, just let it roll in, and the gap opened up for me super surprisingly, because I was totally not expecting to lead the race. And that moment I was so focused in the moment, so I really don't realize what just happened, that I'm in the lead. And my legs felt really good again. So after 40K, my legs opened up again as a whole. What is going on? I feel so good. And I just keep pushing, and in the flat parts, I still could run 340 per kilometer, and yeah, the hilly parts uphill it was like 410, 420 pace, because over the last 25K where I was running alone, it was roughly around like 440 meters per elevation gain, so a quite hilly course at the end. But yeah, the next time I looked around, Flo has passed him, so Flo was back in second place, and I knew he's a super experienced ultra distance runners. So I was totally not sure that I will be the last man standing, basically. But I still felt good. I had no crampons, nothing, and just kept running. And yeah, we passed kilometer 60, and I was just like, oh, you passed kilometer 60, which I totally not expect, because my goal was there, if I run 55K, it's a super good day for me. And yeah, we passed that, and then a guy said to me, hey, you're currently third place in the world. And I said, what? That cannot be true. But then I saw the next village with a slightly up a hill, and I knew I can't gonna hold on to third place because all the other courses were roughly super flat. And yeah, so, but I don't stick my head around that either, which was pretty good. I just focused on the moment again, kept on running, and then yeah, shortly after 64K, they told me, yeah, the catcher car is pretty close to you, and I just put in the last big push, and then I looked over my shoulder, I saw the cars coming, and at that moment the car's driving is 34 kilometers per hour, so super fast. And yeah, it passed me in that moment. That was the first moment I realized I really won the Wings for Life World Run, which is still blowing my mind and still needs time to realize. And it was just all the emotion came out of me at that moment, and I was super proud of myself, and it was just the craziest day of my life. And yeah, I had super cool competitors, of course. We were a big group working all together to make it even possible to run 65.3 kilometers, which is also the current record in Germany now on that course. So which is crazy. It's my first ever ultra. I achieved this one, became 5th in the world. It was just a super great day, and I actually can't wait to line up again to do my next ultra race and see what's coming ahead. Yeah, that was my story about Wings for Life World Run. I hope you enjoyed the little vlog. Like, comment, subscribe, help me to grow that channel. I just will continue doing vlogs like this, tell my story, tell how I'm gonna make my way into my first ultra and trail running season, and yeah, try to get as far as possible as I can be with my potential. And I hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next one.